What if everything you thought you knew about your family was built on a secret? Today, we're diving into the novel Shadows Beneath the Shore, a story about a hidden past and a mystery that stretches across generations. And it all gets kicked off by a single, terrifying sentence. Just imagine for a second you're a high school senior and your godfather drops that bombshell on you over the phone. That one line shatters absolutely everything our protagonist, Tony Costa, believed about his father's sudden death. And it's the catalyst that launches this incredibly dangerous quest for the truth. So, before we get into any hidden minds or deep family secrets, we've got to start right where it all begins for Tony, with a tragedy that just, well, it doesn't add up. So let's meet Tony. One minute, he's a regular kid from the Bronx, totally stoked about his upcoming graduation trip to the Dominican Republic. The next, a single phone call about his father's accident just blows his whole world apart. This is really where his childhood ends and a very dangerous investigation begins. With the official story feeling completely wrong and his godfather's warning just echoing in his head, Tony can't let it go. He decides he's going to find the answers himself. And in that moment, he goes from being a grieving son to a full-on detective. Now, Tony isn't just flying blind here. He gets his friends, Oscar and Louis, and together they hatch a plan. It's super risky, definitely illegal, but he is convinced that his father's office at the university holds the key to figuring out why he really died. You can just feel the tension, right? The friends are creeping around the Columbia University campus late at night, trying to dodge security guards. Their adrenaline is pumping. They know they could get busted at any second. But for Tony, the need for the truth is just way bigger than the risk. And they pull it off. After a heart-stopping run-in with a guard, Tony finds something. It's not a confession, it's not a smoking gun, but it's a start. It's a folder that links his dad to a mine in the Dominican Republic, and this one mysterious set of keys. This is the question that changes absolutely everything. They've got a clue, a physical object that promises answers. But where does it lead? What kind of secret has been locked away all this time? And it turns out those keys don't just unlock a door. They unlock the past, a past that Tony knew literally nothing about. The address takes them right here, to this dusty old U-Haul storage unit. And when they get inside, wow, it's like a time machine. There's old lab equipment, weathered books. It's the remains of a whole life's work that's been hidden away for decades. And this is the real breakthrough. Buried deep inside a file cabinet, Tony finds a stack of these journals. The initials on them are AR, for Antonio Rossi, his grandfather, a man who was pretty much a ghost in his family story. Until now. The second Tony opens that first journal, we are just yanked out of the present-day Bronx and thrown right into the battlefields of Sicily and World War II. We're not following Tony anymore. We're inside the mind of his grandfather, Antonio, who was just a young soldier fighting in a war he didn't believe in anymore. So who was this guy, Antonio Rossi? The journals revealed this incredible story of survival, of escape, and reinvention that really sets this whole family saga into motion. I mean, his journey was just extraordinary. Think about it. He goes from being a wounded Italian soldier to a fugitive hiding out in Rome, and he eventually takes on a whole new name, Enrique Costa, and sails for a new life in the Caribbean. But the big question is, why there? The answer, it turns out, lies in a dream of gold. A dream that actually belonged to his brother, and one that would come to define and endanger his entire family. You know, the two brothers really could not have been more different. You had Mario, the academic, the geologist who was obsessed with these ancient texts about a lost gold mine. And then you had Antonio, the pragmatist, a war survivor just trying to build a new life, who gets pulled into his brother's incredibly ambitious dream. Now, this wasn't some small-time operation. The brothers put together a whole team, including their cousin Pablo, who is also a geologist. And, crucially, they managed to get a connection high up in the government through an Ambassador Martinez, which meant they were operating under the watchful and very dangerous eye of the island's ruthless dictator, Rafael Trujillo. And you know what? Against all the odds, it actually works. Mario's historical research, combined with their brand new extraction techniques, it all pays off. They find gold. The family's future looks totally secure, and it seems like their wildest dreams are coming true. But just as quickly as it all started, their whole legitimate operation completely collapses.
Their political protector, Ambassador Martinez, dies in this sudden accident. And without him, their tie to Trujillo is gone, and their mine is no longer legal. They have no choice but to go completely underground.
But here's the thing. They didn't stop. They kept mining, totally in secret, hiding their entire operation from a brutal dictatorship. And it was during this incredibly dangerous period that they stumbled upon the mine's true secret. 3 years. Just think about that kind of pressure. For 3 whole years, they operated completely in the shadows, under the constant threat of being discovered, thrown in prison, or worse, all while secretly digging for gold. And then, deep down in the earth, all that persistence pays off in a way they never, ever could have imagined. They unearth a deposit of a mineral that makes their gold look worthless, but it also multiplies the danger they're in by 1,000. They found uranium. And you have to remember, this is the 1950s, the absolute height of the Cold War. This wasn't just some valuable mineral. It was one of the most strategic and dangerous materials on the entire planet. This discovery didn't just change their mind. It turned it into a potential geopolitical flashpoint. And this brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? To the present day. Tony's father, a geology professor, was looking into this very same mine right before he was killed. It seems the secret of the mine didn't stay buried after all, leaving us with one final, chilling question that connects a 70-year-old discovery to a modern-day murder.